Breaking news, my country people. Olusegun Obasanjo, the former Nigerian president, don't just say as e dey be like this, so the Nigeria's debt burden is huge. Even the coming generation say they go pay gbese tire. No be small thing, my country people. You know, say so many countries don't see Nigeria as borrow country wey sabi borrow. This our Nigeria's debt burden no be here. Nigeria has acquired a huge amount of debt, starting from the past administration of the former president Muhammad Buhari. No be small thing we dey see. Of course, the government would say, oh, we need this money to push our economy. They keep on borrowing and borrowing, plunging Nigeria into huge debt. So my country people, Obasanjo has said that the mismanagement by the previous administration has forced Nigeria into a debt burden that the upcoming generations would have no other option but to pay for the debts. For things that they did not buy, they would have to pay for debts that were not inquired by them. Yes, a statement by his media aide, Kehinde, indicated that the elder spokesman spoke during an engagement with the 2023 awardees of the Future Africa Leaders Foundation, an initiative of Pastor Chris Oyakhilome. Obasanjo, during his regime as the president in 2003, had secured a debt relief for Nigeria. Likewise, his counterpart from Algeria at the same period. The Ota farmer, however, said with the level of mismanagement of the previous debt written off for the country, it would be almost impossible for any administration to get similar gesture in the continent. Obasanjo declared that the debts were a trap that no individual or nation should fall into, as it constitutes an habitus on any economy. The former president, who asserted that leadership was the #1 problem facing the continent, said that the coming generations will have no choice but to pay the current debt being inquired by different countries in the continent. Well, he also commended Pastor Chris Oyakhilome for the effort being put into building leaders, adding that the nation needed more people like him to address the leadership crisis facing the economy. Well, according to Obasanjo, a leader should be able to set good examples. A leader should be bold and courageous while making decisions, accepting mistakes, and learning from them, as well as having a realistic dream. Meanwhile, Obasanjo has ensured that the country's socio-economic situation could be better in another 4 years or thereabout, with prayers and thanksgiving. Well, my country people, this discussion of Nigeria's debt burden and how we've been servicing debt is really extreme. About 10 or 100% of our revenue goes to servicing of debt, and this debt situation is extremely bad. It is really bad that the former president Muhammad Buhari left a huge amount of debt burden on this country, and this current administration came in and followed the footsteps of the former administration by borrowing more money. And we know that this is not really good. We know that yes, the Tinubu's government has not really settled down to actually see the direction the economy is going to. But still, they are still borrowing, which is really bad for our economy. Nigeria, as a developing country, should not encourage borrowing. Rather, we should encourage investment, things that would generate revenue in this country. We should focus on putting money in infrastructure that would bring about revenue. So the federal government should not be focused on borrowing at this time. Yes, they need to create a stable environment that can attract both local and foreign investments to generate revenue for this country, because our economy is so fragile. We have huge debt loan to service, and in the next few years Nigeria is still paying debt. That's what Obasanjo has said. At this point, the future generations would have to pay for the debt acquired by past generations. And you see that inflation has really, eaten our economy. Look at the exchange rate, and yet Nigeria is still borrowing. So Obasanjo has said at this point, the future generations would have to pay for this debt if care is not taken. So my country people, what are your thoughts on this? Tinubu brought Buhari. Him himself is ruling the history. Obasanjo did not borrow. This man, when you are talking about the enemy of Nigeria, you are number one, followed by Dangote. Obasanjo remained the only president who first started paying Nigeria's debt when Yaya and Jonathan, but once APC government takes over Nigeria, only to borrow money and to spend, never paid any till date. Well, this man is a part of the problem. Even Baba Follow put us inside this debt, including the 16 billion US dollar for power looted under your leadership. High Chief Obasanjo, ex-president of Nigeria, please, can you tell Nigerians that you did not borrow? Okay, guys, these are just reactions from Nigerians. It seems that Nigerians have quelled the former president over his recent statement, concerning the huge debt burden being faced in this country. The fact that he was a former president, and yes, he had a lot of flaws, but it seems that Obasanjo is trying to, from his past experience, telling this current government what to do and how they can go about it. So many people are saying it is not the fault of Tinubu that he met an empty treasury. That's why he must borrow, to keep Nigeria going, because the former administration did not leave any money behind. It seems that they washed our treasury and they left an empty plate for Tinubu to take over. So Tinubu, having nowhere to start from, needed to start borrowing to keep Nigeria running, since he promised to hit the ground running. So my country people, it seems that borrowing has become a necessary something in this country. It has become a norm, something that we cannot do without. And this attitude must stop, before it becomes an addiction to this nation, and the future generations would pay for this. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Thank you.